Solstice of Heroes has been finally announced with a trailer and a weekly update post to explain what's in this event, and I can say honestly that I am very excited. Now, I want to talk about what this event is. I want to share my thoughts on what I think about this event. I'll do a follow-up on what I actually, in the end, think about the event when it actually is out. But I also want to share about one big concern that I have about not just Solstice of Heroes, but every event going forward, which I do want everyone to hear about, because I feel like a lot of people are not actually talking about this issue or really thinking about this, which is, I wouldn't say it's a real problem, but it is something that I feel like Bungie is kind of brushing to the side in hopes that we don't notice, but which I hope not. I don't think they would be doing something like this. At least I hope so, because there's been some positive things that they announced within this event that I'll talk about. So, as usual, for those who have not played Solstice of Heroes last year, basically what this event is that your goal is to get this armor set for each character or one character, whatever you want to go for. But basically it starts off at stage 1. There's up to stage 3, which is like the legendary best version. It's like it starts off broken, low light level, whatever, and then it gets a little bit better, and then it becomes the actual Solstice set that you hoped and dreamed to get. And with that, you have to do objectives, and these objectives could be like getting a certain amount of the elemental orbs, get a certain amount of kills, or do a certain amount of meditations and stuff, or whatever. One thing that Solstice of Heroes had last year was they had you do meditations, and these meditations were missions that we've already played, but with a spin. If you really remember the spin that they really gave us last year with the servitors, that was quite something else, wasn't it? But this time we get something that I feel like is way cooler, and I was wondering what was up with this, because they showed it off in the Season of Opulence trailer. So they have a meditation that you can start up in the directory, just like with the Haunted Forest and the Revelry Forest, whatever that was called and stuff. And it's a 3 player activity that has matchmaking, and basically it's a in the sky area with floating rocks of like the EDZ, and your goal is basically to take out as many enemies and mini bosses as you possibly can until the time runs out. When the time runs out, then you battle a final boss, and then from there there'll be like treasure, and the more amount of enemies that you destroyed and mini bosses defeated, the more treasure you'll get. And inside the treasure you'll get like rare and legendary gear, enhancement cores and materials, so kind of like how it was with the other events. And I guess if you get the entire set of the legendary armor, you'll get a sparrow, which is nice that you get something for free for just playing the activity. That's something that's happened with all the events. It's good they at least do something like that. Now, the other thing that they talk about is these elemental powerful whatevers. So originally these I don't think they did much of anything in the last year, but there are 3 elements, Solar, Arc, and Void, and when you would get kills with your super or weapons, if they were of that element, they would drop these orbs. And apparently each day the element will change, so when you collect 30 orbs, you'll get like this elemental buff, which I feel like is a cool idea, because it really enhances the game further than just being do this activity and that's it. I like the Revelry idea, just I didn't like that it was in competitive in Gambit Prime, which, by the way, and I'll just say this, they learned a lesson with Revelry. In Gambit Prime and competitive, there won't be any orbs of like any buffs. None of the buffs will work in that mode, thank goodness. But everywhere else, yes. So just to let you guys know, they listened to feedback about that one pretty quickly. So when you get the solar buff, so again, I guess it will have to be the day of that element, but so the solar buff, you'll have some empowerment where you have like a burning wave of energy that damages anything around you. So I guess like you just become a solar flare, essentially. Sounds pretty cool. The void one will grant you the power to go invisible if you crouch, and give you true sight, so I guess like seeing through walls and stuff, and enhanced ability regeneration. So there we go. And then the arc one is gonna give you enhanced speed, and you'll deal greater melee and sword damage. That is pretty exciting, because I can't wait to use Peregrine Greaves as a Titan, Arc Titan, and see how much damage that will do. How much damage this will really increase on your character, we have no idea, but either way, that's something interesting. I do like stuff like that. I know not everyone was a big fan of Revelry, but I like the whole idea of where you get critical shots on enemies and they drop a bunch of orbs. I like that for the raid, and they removed it because there was guitar errors. So yay! Hopefully they have this stay in the raids this time. Now, they announced the Eververse store. Obviously, there's gonna be a ton of Eververse items, which, by the way, they're super cool. They have a little. It's like a little, like, toy car, almost. It almost looks like, something a toddler would use, and you even sit on it like you're uncomfortable. I'm getting that for sure. We get some emotes and stuff. We get some, ghost shells. The ghost shells are kind of cute as well. There's one with, like, it's got sunglasses, but it's only one, side because it's got one eye. One that's a beach ball, and one's that's got a little lifesaver thing underneath it. Got ship sparrows, obviously, as I said, excuse me. Yeah, it's looking really good. But here's the thing. So they said that you can direct purchase anything with silver and bright dust. So either or. Now that's great. I like the bright dust idea of being able to purchase anything. That's always been a thing. But the prices for these items with bright dust is going to be quite heavy. I know for a fact. So the thing that I was going to say that I'm concerned about, and I really want people to, hear me out on this, because it is an issue. Originally, in previous events, we had an engram. If you don't remember, every time you leveled up, you would get an engram for the event. But they're dropping the RNG-based engram idea in replacement to the direct purchase system. And here's the problem. And I know right now we do get a engram the drop and we can dismantle for bright dust, but here's the thing. When we would get 2 engrams, that was like getting double the amount of bright dust. You were getting a lot of bright dust through these events because you were playing the game. It doesn't say anywhere here that we are going to get enhanced amount of bright dust or anything in replacement of this. So my concern is they're not going to try and figure out a way to do something like it was back then, where if you wanted to get a lot of bright dust, you play the event. Now it just seems like just play the game, hold on to bright dust, but even then, with the amount of seasons and events that we get, our bright dust amount is going to be slim to none. If you want to just buy things directly with in-game currency, which is the bright dust. Now, they said that down the road, we're going to have bounties have drop, bright dust, but it could be like just 25 bright dust or lower. It might not be something that big, which is a big problem. But here's the thing. What I feel like they should do is every time you level up during this event, you should get a bright dust package. So maybe like 300, 500 bright dust each time you level up. Because then I feel like that would be fair in regards to still having the direct purchase, but not having the double engram drop. I feel like that would be pretty fair. Either that or having the bounties from this meditations and stuff, if they have bounties, which I don't think they will, from Eva and stuff, where those bounties will drop a lot of bright dust, maybe like 100 each, and there'll be like 5 daily bounties each week. That would be pretty okay as well, as long as the bounties are not tedious like the Eververse bounties. That's the only big concern I have. That's it. Everything else is looking very nice and fun. I've never really cared about cosmetic only items or whatever. I never really mind it. I mean, but at the same time, when you feel like the event is more tied with the items, the Eververse items, than the stuff that you're getting for free, then it becomes an issue. But you can get these items for free, like the armor is free, you get the Sparrow for free. You can technically get everything for free if you have enough Bright Dust. But yeah, and plus we got the elemental buff idea that's cool in the meditation thing. So I feel like it evens out. So even then, with my concern, it's not that big of a deal on my end. But I still want to share that that situation, because I don't want, for anybody that feels like they don't have enough Bright Dust and stuff, and they want this kind of idea where you can get more Bright Dust through the event specifically, then yeah. But I want to end it on a great note. We had concerns because I remember being upset about this. Don't worry. Remember the Solstice of Hero armor during Year 1 Destiny 2, and we grinded our butts off for that armor. And for us to find out the next DLC, which was Forsaken, to find out that the armor was obsolete. Didn't have the random rolls and stuff of the armor, new armor sets and stuff that Forsaken brought forward or anything like that. So there was no point of using the Solstice of Hero armor. It was disappointing. It really was. Everyone was disappointed. Good thing. Good news. Good thing. Whatever. We asked for feedback about the Solstice of Heroes armor to see if they would be part of the Armor 2.0 that is coming with Shadowkeep, and they said the Solstice of Heroes armor set will be the first Armor 2.0 set that will receive this whole thing, like this whole new whatever. So it will be part of Armor 2.0 during Shadowkeep. And apparently they said the Armor 2.0 version will be waiting for you to pick up at the gunsmith. So we will have this armor usable for Shadowkeep. The cool, awesome Solstice armor set is going to be useful. Thank you, Bungie. My goodness, because I absolutely loved the set. And this one looks pretty awesome. So I don't want to miss out on this set at all. I really don't when it comes to Shadowkeeps and stuff. So instead of being like, well, this armor's useful for a month, you can rest easy, grind out all sets, and you'll feel like you did something that's relevant through the new DLC, the new year of Destiny 2. So that right there is the best thing about this whole thing. So this event is going to start July 30th and it'll go until August 27th. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this. I will be also streaming this right when it comes out on my Twitch, of course. That will be right when it comes out on July 30th on that Tuesday. So I hope to see you guys there for that, because I'm looking forward to playing this. So either way, everybody, I want to know your thoughts on this event and my concern and the good things. I want to know your thoughts. Leave in the comments down below. But either way, thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you in Solstice of Heroes. Chibi out.